For the final time in 2022, the Miners traveled to Chugiak, where they looked for the season sweep at Lee Jordan Field in a matchup between the Mat-Su Miners and the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. Hi friends, Howie Boxley flying solo tonight. My broadcast partner Trey Yanity is off in Atlanta on a business trip. The Miners are hoping to get 9 in tonight after 4 of their last 5 games have been rained out. They got a shortened win over the Oilers on Friday. Here are the highlights. Jacob Steele in the second inning, line drive, RBI double into left center, made it 2-0 Miners. Here in the third, Steven Lancia with a 2-run blast makes it 6-0. The Miners were rolling. On the other side of the ball, Chandler David was dominant. 5 innings, a season high for any Miner, 10 strikeouts for David, en route to a 6-0 victory for Mat-Su. They'll look for more of the same here tonight in Chugiak. Stick around. Keys to the game, lineups, and first pitch right after this.
Smoker extraordinaire, Justin Phillips, who will also be cooking tonight's team meal after the game along with Mrs. Phillips.
Welcome back to Lee Jordan Field, where we are set for baseball between the Mat-Su Miners and the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. Howie Boxley flying solo tonight, broadcast partner Trey Yanity on a business trip in Atlanta, but we are excited for baseball from Chugiak. The Miners come in at 22-10 on the year as they look to sweep this season series down in Eagle River. They are 4-0 against Chugiak on the road, and now just a half game back behind the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, who dropped game 1 of the doubleheader to the Peninsula Oilers by a final score of 2-0. The Chugiak Chinooks come in 5-25 at the bottom of the Alaska Baseball League. They are 17 games back, and for the Miners, they hope that they will be able to get in this baseball game. Tons of games around the league have been affected by rain. The Miners had an exhibition game rained out yesterday. They had a rain-shortened win against the Peninsula Oilers on Saturday. And on Friday, they were rained out against the Peninsula Oilers, so weather causing all kinds of problems all across the league. The Anchorage Glacier Pilots and Anchorage Bucks had 5 games rained out over the weekend. And for the Miners, they will face a tough customer. It's Zach Philos Day for the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. Zach Philos has a team-leading 3.27 ERA among qualified pitchers. In fact, the only player that has a better ERA than him, Davis Beavers, one of the Chugiak catchers who threw 1 scoreless frame against the Miners the last time they played here. The Miners have dominated at Lee Jordan Field. They have won 17-5. 15-5. They won last time 7-0 behind R.J. Elmore, who just popped in the booth. He threw 9 scoreless innings. They've also won here 4-2. Casey Sunseri digging into the right-handed batter's box. He is going to lead off against Zach Philos to start this game. Philos 5'10", 160. Right-hander into the windup, and now for the ball game. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Start time, 7:04 local. Rain lurking in southwest Alaska, slowly making its way over towards south central. Hopefully it holds off. The 1-0. Taken down and away for Sunseri. Casey leads off for the Miners, a 4-game hit streak. He's knocked in 18 men. He's scored 24 times. 2-0. taken for a called strike. As this game rolls on, feel free to let us know where you're watching from. Harold and Carrie Weems joining from Farmington, Missouri. 2-1 is grounded out to second. That's going to be fielded by Patty McCormick, who throws out Sunseri by a step or two for out number 1. Patty McCormick, the second baseman for Chugiak. Ty Beck plays first. Alec Beeman, the shortstop. Jack Lawrence out at third. Austin Young does the catching for Zach Philos. Alexander Saunier, Ben Weaver, and Justin Greck from left to right in the outfield. Batter now is Josh Pano. He sprays the first pitch to the right side of the field. That one's going to get through for a hit. Josh Pano has his 38th hit of the year, and he's aboard here in the first. Blake Avila, the 3-hole hitter for the Miners. Let's take a quick peek at the starting 9 for Tyler LeBrun. Avila to be followed by Vergara. Hellman in the 5-hole. Sorelli will bat 6th. Steven Lancia batting 7th. Carter Young and Jacob Steele round out the starting 9 for the Miners. Right on left here. First pitch to Avila. Swinging a pop-up. Left side, foul territory. Lawrence over. The third baseman throws up the leather and makes the catch for out number 2. Zach Philos has pitched in 3 games against the Miners this year. 1 in relief, where he threw 3 scoreless innings. He's also started 2 games against the Miners. He went 6 innings and 7 innings in those contests, allowing 1 run and no runs respectively. Picked up the win in both games. Team batting average for the Miners against Philos, 164. Alex Vergara bats now with 1 on and 2 out. That one drops in for a called strike. Had a chance to talk with Kyle Watson about Zach Philos a few weeks ago. Said he doesn't do anything too crazy, but he locates all his pitches well. His fastball has a lot of movement, and he has a plus slider that plays. 0-1. Grounded foul. Vergara, red hot. Hit successfully in 16 of his last 18 games. Just had a 6-game hitting streak snapped in the shortened game on Saturday. That feels like it shouldn't count. He's behind Philos 0-2. Right-hander sets on the left side of the rubber. Kicks and brings it. It's a fastball up and away. Miners in their camo tops, gray pants, yellow letters, and numerals. Miners disguised across the chest. Vergara swings a black bat over his right shoulder and awaits the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Something high that Vergara chased for out number 3. Miners get a 1-out base hit. Nothing else. We're through 1/2 inning. Miners nothing, and the Chinooks are coming up as you listen to Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Bottom of the first inning, Miners nothing. Chugiak coming up. Rhett McCafferty gets the ball for Matsu, 6 foot tall, 200-pound left-hander starting in his 5th game. 25 hits, 17 runs for McCafferty, 14 of those earned. He's given up 7 doubles, no home runs, 13 walks, 28 strikeouts for Rhett, who brings a 2-2 record into action. Let's take a quick look at the keys to the game, presented by Napa. For the Miners, knock the water off. A ton of rain has kept them off the field recently, so knock the water off and keep reeling them in. Got to catch the Chinooks for the 5th time on the road, looking for their 7th win against Chugiak on the year. They come in 6-2. Rhett McCafferty ready to go and brings his first pitch to Ben Weaver. That's a called strike, down and away. Ben Weaver, the center fielder for Chugiak, batting .315 coming into this one. The 0-1, down and away. Sun has peeked out at Lee Jordan Field under mostly cloudy skies here. 1-1, swing and a miss. Good fastball by McCafferty, blew it right on by Weaver. 4-seam, 2-seam for Rhett. Slider change curveball. Ahead of Weaver, the 1-2. That fastball misses high. The 2-2. Check swing roller back to McCafferty. He will field his position well. And the first base dugout will get to erupt for our first PFP of the game. That is pitcher fielding practice for Rhett McCafferty. He did it well. They did it well when R.J. Elmore was on the mound. R.J. had a ton of balls back to him in his game in Chugiak last Wednesday. A complete game shutout for R.J. in that game. Induced 4 double plays. Looked great. Justin Greck bats now. Takes high for ball 1. Game time temperature, 63 degrees. Under mostly cloudy skies, sun peeked out for a moment here in the bottom of the first, but has disappeared back behind the gray. Greck swings and misses at that. For McCafferty, the first inning has given him some trouble. 3 of his 5 starts, he's allowed a run in the first, including 1 his last time out. The 1-1 off-speed pitch that stayed high. McCafferty pitched on July 7th in a road game against the Anchorage Bucks, went 5 innings, allowed 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, picked up the loss. 2-1. Grounded off of Greck and off of Paul Craddock, who's the home plate umpire. Ryan Gill, the first base umpire in this game. Connor Lindsay, the umpire at third. Long-time talker, first-time listener, Trey Yanity, tuning in from Atlanta. He's on official business down there. And, of course, in the town, the best baseball town in America, with no bias shown. Rhonda Ward watching in Virginia. Kay Watson watching from Fort Worth. Chickaloon, Alaska, well represented. Erica Payette, Farmington, Missouri. We did leave Trey at home. The 2-2. Down and away, 3-2. He will be back for Thursday's game against the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Huge contest for the Miners. Full count. Strike 3 called, outside corner. Greck is gone, 2 outs.
Batting for the Chinooks, number 22, Austin Young.
It's a battle of 2 good pitchers tonight. Zach Philos versus Rhett McCafferty. Philos took his turn in the top of the first, produced a scoreless frame. Austin Young bats now and takes a strike. McCafferty into the windup, the 0-1. That one stays high. Missing up at times here in the first inning, but inducing a number of swings and misses. So far, 2 for 2. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Got that one down. caused Young to chase it. Young batting .278 coming in, 20 for 72 on the season. The 1-2. Outside corner, just missed. Lancia tried to frame it, but Craddock saw it just off the plate. And now takes a look over to the Miners dugout. And has a word or two. The 2-2. Popped up. This will soar over the Miners dugout, out of play.
Northwest Carpet Company for quality flooring.
Hillside in left sports a few patrons. 3 fans on it today. Kids love to run up and down and get the best view in the house. 2-2. Popped up again. Out of play over the Miners dugout.
JR Septic Pumping and Excavation for all your septic needs.
Another 2-2 to Young. Grounded sharply through the right side of the infield for a base hit. Both teams in the hit column now, both with singles. Cleanup hitter Jack Lawrence will step up. Let's take a look at the rest of the lineup for Chugiak. Lawrence will be followed by Brian Matheson, who's a designated hitter. Ty Beck at first base. Alec Beeman, the shortstop, batting 7th. Patty McCormick and Alexander Saunier round out the starting 9 for Chugiak. First pitch to Jack Lawrence is a called strike, 0-1. Lawrence, 1 home run this year. It came against the Miners here at Lee Jordan Field. Bit of a controversial home run that may have been left of the foul pole. Nasty changeup from McCafferty that time. Lawrence swings through it, 0-2. This is when McCafferty is at his best, when he's getting ahead in counts, able to throw all of his pitches. Can do whatever he wants right now. The 0-2. Tried a fastball. It stayed away. That pitch won't count, however, as Ryan Gill calls a balk, sending Austin Young down to second base. So the count will remain 0-2. Young balked into scoring position. Poppy Yates joining the chat. Nice to see you. That one is slapped to left center field. Long run, Hellman. He's going to make the catch on the run for out number 3. No runs, 1 hit, a balk, 1 man left. We're off to the second. No score, Miners and Chinooks.
Tonight, this ballgame is brought to you by Eagle River Trustworthy Hardware
Top of the second inning, no score. Miners and Chinooks. Zach Philos back to work on Alex Hellman, the newest Miner. 6 for his first 19 is Hellman. Attends Xavier University, where he hit right around 250 this past season, riding a modest 3-game hitting streak. Into action. He's also swiped a couple bags, so a dangerous man if he can get on against Philos, who's back into the windup. His first pitch misses low. Hellman with such long strides showed them off in the bottom of the first inning. Was able to track down a ball that was seeking the gap out in left center. 1-0. Grounded foul past third. Might have been foul at the batter's box. Talked to Hellman yesterday at the team dinner. Said that he took a couple weeks off following his collegiate season and turned down a few summer baseball offers, but when he got the one to Alaska, he just couldn't refuse. The 1-1. Slapped down the right field line foul. Said it's a place that he's always wanted to come to, wanted to visit. And he's got a good roommate. Staying at the Christopher's house with Michael Yates. Said he's up early, golfing, working out, getting in hikes. He conquered Lazy Mountain as well. 1-2 down and away. First look for Hellman against Zach Philos, who attends the Masters University, originally from Murrieta, California. The 2-2. Swing and a shot down the left field line. That's a fair ball down in the corner. Hellman's going to chug around first and head for second. That ball's bounding around the bullpen. Alexander Saunier over to pick it up. A stand-up double for Alex Hellman to start the second. Hellman was able to yank his hands inside that baseball and shoot it just inside the bag. Along the third base line, Jack Lawrence was playing well off the bag. Diving effort on the turf infield, couldn't get it. Nick Sorelli will bat now. Early scoring chance for the Miners. Chinooks will shift on Sorelli, even with a man on second. Alec Beeman plays right behind the second base bag. 3 men on the right side of the infield. That's where Sorelli needs to hit the ball to advance Hellman. Pitch. Outside. One-0 pitch to Nick Sorelli. Swinging a high pop. Foul territory. Lawrence over near the dugout. It's over the Chinooks dugout, out of play. Sorelli comes in batting .233. He's knocked in 13 men. He's walked 24 times. Good on-base percentage for Sorelli. 1-1 from Philos. Swing and a miss. Philos challenged him, and Sorelli was late. A ball and 2 strikes. Sorelli's hit 4 doubles, 2 home runs. Philos takes a long time, now delivers a 1-2. Off the plate outside. Philos, good numbers everywhere you look. Has not produced an ERA over 4 in his collegiate career. That includes summer baseball. Two-two pitch to Nick Sorelli. Tipped in and out of the mid of Young. Sorelli still alive. A 3.58 ERA at the Masters University for Philos this past season. At Riverside City College in 2021, he produced a 3.68 ERA. At Corbin University over 2 seasons, a 3.09 ERA. Sorelli battling with him here. Hellman on second. He led off the inning with a double. No score. Miners baseball, and now time called at the plate. Just to give context around how rare rainouts are in the Alaska Baseball League. Not that they don't happen, they do. Miners general manager Pete Christopher said that that was his first back-to-back rainout ever, and he's owned the team for 20 years. 2-2. Swinging a high fly ball sent out to right center field. That will send Ben Weaver back. He's going to make the catch. Tagging from second and heading for third is Alex Hellman. He's going to slide in well ahead of the throw. Nick Sorelli gets the job done. A fly out advances Hellman to third.
Batting for the Miners.
One other storyline around all of the rainouts. Talked about the Bucks and the Pilots. They had 5 games rained out this weekend. Couple of double headers. It starts to get tough for teams to play all 40 games. The Pilots still need to play 13 more now after their doubleheader game 1 went final against the Oilers. Steven Lancia bats now. Swing and a fly ball hit back to Ben Weaver. He tracks to his right this time, makes the catch. Tagging from third now is Hellman, and he will beat the throw. Couple of fly balls for the Miners as they play small ball here in the second inning. They bring Hellman around from second and lead 1-0.
Coming to the plate for the Miners, number 20, Carter.
Really good job by the Miners to manufacture a run against Zach Philos. Those don't come very often. Credit Lancia with his 13th RBI. Hellman scores for the 4th time. Lineup flips to Carter Young. First pitch. Taken outside. Starts to get very difficult for the Glacier Pilots to make up all their games. It's still very much attainable as they have until the end of July. If they can get in game 2 against the Oilers, they would just have 12 remaining. But if they can't get in the rest of their games, as Young takes a 1-0 inside, now 2-0, it could come down to win percentage. And with the Miners trailing in the loss column, it would be tough to catch the Pilots for first place. But the Oilers giving a big hand in game 1 as Young sprays this one foul. They defeated the Glacier Pilots 2-0 in game 1 of the doubleheader. Nick Welch and Drake Fries combined for that shutout. So the Miners just a half game back coming into this game with Chugiak. Glacier Pilots still with one more to play tonight as well. 2-1 to Young. Called strike. Two. Taken outside. Inning started with a double by Hellman. He was advanced to third on a flyout by Nick Sorelli. Came home on a sacrifice fly by Steven Lancia. It's now full to Carter Young with 2 outs. The pitch. Lifted out of play. Young batting .231. He scored 19 times. One of the team leaders in runs scored, trailing Josh Pano and Casey Sanseri. Full count pitch. Swinging a little flare into left center field. That's a long run for Saunier, but he makes the catch for out number 3. The Miners are on the board first. Alex Hellman comes home following a double. We're through 1.5 here in Chugiak. Miners 1, Chinooks nothing. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts.
A longtime supporter of Chinook baseball.
bottom of the second, Miners lead 1-0. Thanks to a sacrifice fly by Steven Lancia. Got them on the board first against Zach Philos. And run support for Rhett McCafferty, who's back to work and delivers a fastball high to Ryan Matheson. RJ Elmore hanging out in the booth with the radar gun up here, chatting to him about McCafferty during the break. 1-0 pitch is grounded over McCafferty's head, out to short. Pano charges, fires across his body. He has that thing patented for out number 1. Elmore indicated that he likes when McCafferty goes off speed first. Thinks that he is effective that way, working a little bit backwards. Elmore, very effective last Wednesday in Chugiak. 9 shutout innings, threw a ton of sliders in that outing. Ty back bats now and takes a crossfire strike. Beck gets the start at first base. Saw him late in that game on last Wednesday. Checked in to play left field when Chugiak was emptying the bench. Swing and a miss. Fastball that darts away from the bat of Beck. He's behind 0-2. Chinooks threw 2 position players. The last time they played the Miners, Will Kelly and Davis Beavers. 0-2. Locks up Beck, but misses low. We've seen Patty McCormick on the mound. We've seen Will Kelly on the mound twice. We've seen Calvin Johnson on the mound. Broadcaster and position player. 1-2. Down and in. Really great news to share about Calvin Johnson, chatting with the other commentator for Chugiak today. No Tommy John surgery needed. 2-2. Drops in high, full count now. Just a partial tear. Almost not even a partial tear in Calvin Johnson's UCL. So just physical therapy, and hopefully his arm will recover fully. 3-2. Lost him. A 1-out walk here in the bottom of the second. 14th walk issued by McCafferty this year. Counting a strikeout in the first inning, he struck out 29 men. It's a pretty good ratio for McCafferty. As the Miners try to settle in their rotation with the playoffs lurking. 2 weeks away until the playoffs start, if you can believe it. Alec Beeman, the batter. First pitch. Strike 1. It's a race for first. The Pilots, Miners, and Bucks have all locked up playoff spots. The Oilers' magic number now down to 3 following their win over the Glacier Pilots. Playoff teams almost all but certain at this point, as that one is grounded foul. 2 strikes now on Alec Beeman. The question is who will be hosting throughout and who will be hosting in the first round. Looks like the Miners and Pilots will have that privilege, but still have not clinched. Miners come into action 5.5 ahead of the third place Bucks as McCafferty delivers high. Two. Misses high. McCafferty sets. Brings it. Swing and a shot sent out to left center. Long run, Hellman. He is not going to get there. It's going to 3-hop the wall. Rounding second, heading to third is Ty Beck. They're going to wave him around. Here comes the relay from Pano. He's going to throw it to third. And belly flopping in with an RBI triple is Alec Beeman, who just tied the game.
Sponsored by Northern Advantage Insurance Leaders, your ministry and nonprofit insurance expert.
That ball was struck well by Beeman, who just kept running. Chased Beck all the way around. And picks up an RBI triple.
Number 5, Paddy, the pride of Ireland.
First triple of the year for Alec Beeman. And now Chugiak threatens to take the lead here in the second. Patty McCormick, the batter. Corners drawn in. Pitch is grounded out to Jacob Steele. He wasn't in. Miners will concede the run. RBI ground out for Patty McCormick. And quickly, Chugiak takes the lead 2-1. Patty did not try to do too much. Just needed to put the ball in play somewhere up the middle. He did so successfully. Gives the Miners a deficit now. As Alexander Saunier will be the batter, 9-hole hitter. Rosanna Dixon joining us from Wasilla, just down the road, 1-0. Swing and a shot out to right. That will send Vergara back. He's got it, though, on a line for out number 3. The Chinooks take the lead. They score 2 times on 1 hit and an RBI ground out. On to the third we go. Chugiak leads the Miners 2-1.
Trustworthy hardware and lumber. We want to thank them. They'll be feeding the entire team
The Alaska Highway Safety Office reminds you to be safe on the road. Stop speeding, slow down, arrive alive. This message brought to you by the Alaska Highway Safety Office. Chinooks have taken a 2-1 lead as they sped right by the Miners in the bottom of the second inning. Now lead by 1. Zach Philos back up on the hill, faces Jacob Steele, who shows bunt and pulls it back for ball 1. Rosanna Dixon now going to be in trouble. In the comments, just had time to read the first half of her comment last inning. As Steele takes a strike over the outside corner. She says that she's making smoked halibut chowder for her players. Alex Vergara, Josh Mendez, who she's so graciously hosting this summer. Steele bounds this ball out to Beck at first. He will step on the bag himself for out number 1. And I agree with Broken Arrow. Are you making enough for all of us, Rosanna? As that sounds excellent. Chowder, one of my favorites. Top of the order for the Miners, Casey Sunseri.
Number 14, Casey Sunseri.
Sunseri grounded out to second to start the game. Grounds this one up the middle. It's going to be fielded by Beeman to his left. Shortstop throws across in time for out number 2. This is what Zach Philos does when he gets in a groove. He doesn't strike out too many men. Over his 16 innings against the Miners so far this year, he has 9 strikeouts. But he pitches to contact, gets a ton of ground balls, and just gets outs. Josh Pano bats now, grounded one through the right side. His first time up. That one buckles him. Off-speed pitch drops in for strike 1. Oh, 1. Downstairs, 1-1. Avila on deck. Quickly 2 outs, though, here in the third. Pitch misses outside. Kyle Watson, Miners' third base coach, clapping it up down there. James Dillard stalks around the first base coaching box. 2-1. Swinging a shot up the middle. That's going to get through for a hit. Couple of hard hit ground balls for Payno, who's 2 for 2. Josh just continues to rake for the Miners. He's had a couple of quote-unquote slumps this year where he went 0 for 10, 0 for 15, but he usually bounces back with a 3, maybe a 4-hit game, which is why his average is all the way up over 333 now. 39 hits for Payno. Team high batting average. Avila will bat now with a man aboard and 2 outs. Philos fires. That one taken for a ball. Pretty good pitch. Over the inner half near the knees. Just missed, says Craddock. Avila stands way up in the batter's box near the front. Trying to see if he can catch an off-speed pitch out front and launch it over the right field wall. 1-0. Grounded foul pass first. James Dillard lets that one go under his left arm. Brandon Heidel out of the dugout to chase that baseball down. Can't just leave those lying around. They're expensive. Avila on a 1-1 count. Philos from the stretch. The pitch. Swing and a shot. That's going to get down for a hit. Josh Payno's going to round second and head for third. Ben Weaver late to the ball. He's going to throw it into second. Runners on the corners and a 2-out rally for Matsu. Couple of hard hit balls on Zach Philos here in this frame. Both with 2 outs, and it gives an opportunity for Alex Vergara to tie the game or get the lead right back for Matsu. Catcher Austin Young out to give the signals. Back in his crouch now behind the plate. Vergara taps on the plate 1 time. Waves the bat over his right shoulder. First pitch of the AB. Inside. Vergara raises both arms up. Coach Tyler LeBrun out of the first base dugout, chatting with Nick Sorelli, who's in the hole. Pickoff attempt. Avila with a meager lead over at first is back with 2 steps, standing up. Chinooks just trying to get a few more wins down the stretch. Very unlikely to make the playoffs at this point. 1-0. Swing and a shot into left field. 3 straight hits for the Miners. This one ties the game. Huge 2-out knock for Alex Vergara, who brings home Josh Payno to make it a 2-2 game.
49, Alex Hellman.
None of the Miners trying to do too much right now. Just hitting the baseball hard and being rewarded. Inning continues for the next Alex in line. It's Alex Hellman. He had a ringing double his first time up. Pitch. Swing and a ball lifted deep down the right side. Tie back over to give it a look, but it's well out of play. I second the sentiment from Diana Canales, Josh Mendez's mom, saying thank you to Rosanna Dixon for housing a couple of players. Thank you to all the host families. Wouldn't be possible without you. 0-1 to Hellman. Swing and a miss. Fastball on by from Philos. Philos has been the starter the 2 times Matsu has lost to Chugiak. 6-2 against them. They've clinched the season series. Looking to sweep the season series at Lee Jordan Field. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 game. The 0-2. Just missed. Philos at the base of the mound. Squatted down, stared in at Paul Craddock. Thought it was good enough for strike 3. Back on the rubber now. Flaps his glove over the latter half of the Chinooks across his chest, and now backs off the mound. Tosses the ball back into his throwing hand, holds it behind his back, stares in at Hellman once more, flaps the glove. Taking a long time to get the sign from Young. He's got it now. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Philos gets Alex Hellman and the Miners here in the third, but not before. They string together 3 two-out base hits. Alex Vergara brings home the game-tying run to the bottom of the third. Miners 2, Chugiak 2, and a fun game from Lee Jordan Field.
Chinook baseball. Batting for your Chinooks, number 8.
Bottom of the third. Miners 2, Chinooks 2. As these teams duke it out for the final time at Lee Jordan Field. Rhett McCafferty back to work. Top of the Chugiak order, Ben Weaver, who bunts the first pitch. That is a fair ball. Steven Lancia hardly had to move. Just got out of his crouch and gunned down Ben Weaver for out number 1. That bunt was barely a fair ball. Right in front of the plate, Lancia was able to pounce on it quickly, made a good throw, and got Weaver for the first out.
Now batting for the Chinooks, number 21.
Second batter of the inning, second batter on the lineup card, Justin Greck. Struck out looking his first time. As McCafferty pumps over ball 1, 86 miles an hour off the outside corner. 1-0. Grounded out to second. Jacob Steele. Patty kicks his glove. Wings it across for out number 2. Very similar look to the start of the third for the Miners, when Zach Philos got 2 quick ground outs. Then suddenly, the heart of the order turned it on. 3 straight singles for the Miners by Pano, Avila, and Vergara. Tied the game at 2. 5 hits for the Miners so far. Austin Young takes a called strike 1. Chugiak has scored 2 times on 2 hits. 0-1. Lashed out of play.
And that foul ball sponsored by Bright Star Care for your home care needs.
McCafferty trying to polish off Chugiak here in the third. The 0-2. That one stays high. Young singled his first time up. 1-2. Swinging a shot down the right field line. That one's curling towards the Miners bullpen. Off the base of the fence, a foul ball. Exposed bullpens here at Lee Jordan Field, much akin to what we see at Herman Brothers Field, the Miners' home ballpark. Can create some obstacles on high, long foul balls. Alex Vergara had to navigate that bullpen in the last game here. Wasn't able to make the play. Gets tough over there. 1-2. Lifted out of play off to the right again. Wind up, pitch. One stays high. Cafferty's release point seems to be a bit all over the place early on. Missing high. 2-2. Grounded over McCafferty, out to Pano, who charges it short, throws across his body for out number 3. 1-2-3 third inning for the Miners. We're in a 2-2 game, a third of the way through. Miners 2, Chugiak 2 from Lee Jordan Field. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts.
Hey, grab your red ticket. We want to see you use it from Studio with a gift card. If you have this winning ticket number, 136-9519. 136.
Off to the fourth, Miners 2, Chinooks 2. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube. Hanging out with Howie Boxley, Trey Yannity, attending SEC Media Days in Atlanta to cover the SEC team Alabama tomorrow. Nick Sorelli starts the fourth inning, takes low for ball 1. Getting immersed in great baseball culture down there. Reigning world champions. 1-0. Swinging a high fly ball left field. Playable for Alexander Saunier, who makes a two-handed catch for out number 1. Back and forth game so far.
Batting for the Miners, number 27.
Miners scored 1 time in the top of the second. Chinooks responded with 2 of their own. Miners added 1 more in the third. 2-2. And the pitch to Steven Lancia is grounded out to second. Charging is Patty McCormick. He makes a nifty flip for out number 2. More quick outs for Zach Philos, who threatens to pitch deep into this game. He's been touched for a couple of runs, which is more than he's given up against the Miners all year. Team leading 3.27 ERA coming in for Chugiak. Ace of the staff, Carter Young bats with nobody aboard and 2 outs. Takes a strike.
Nice, come on now. We got this inning tied up.
Third baseman Jack Lawrence in just a step off the grass against the lefty, who shows bunt, yanks it back and takes high. Shows you why right there, as Young threatened. Young could also drag a bunt down the first base line. Beck and McCormick way back. If he could get it past Philos, it'd be a hit for sure. 1-1. No sign of a bunt. Bounces up there for ball 2. Sky out to left for Young his first time. Zach Philo shakes twice, 3 times, 4 times. Now he's got the one he wants. And Young is just a little bit late on that. Tried to hang back on something off speed, but put it out of play. Two-two pitch. Swing and a shot into right field. That's going to hang up for Justin Greck, who makes the waist-high catch for out number 3. 1-2-3. Go the Miners here in the top of the 4th. To the bottom we go. 2-2 game. Mat-Su Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Bottom of the 4th, Miners and Chinooks locked up in a 2-2 contest. It's an ace-off between Brett McCafferty and Zach Philos. McCafferty back to work. Bottom of the 4th inning, Jack Lawrence, Ryan Matheson, and Ty Beck due up for Chugiak. Lawrence lined out to left field his first time up. Alex Hellman able to track down a ball in the gap. First pitch. Just missed outside. 1-0. Still waiting for Steve Lindsay to make an appearance in the comments. Connor Lindsay, third base umpire. 1-0. Low 2-0. Steve hasn't missed a Miners party all year, from what I can remember. Of course, the one night I'm by myself, he's not going to show up. Come on, Steve. 2-0. Hard hit ground ball through the 6 hole. Clean single for Jack Lawrence to start the 4th. Cafferty's done well so far. It's only his 3rd hit allowed. 2nd single. He's also allowed a triple. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And a number of groundouts for McCafferty, who will try to induce one here and produce the 35th double play turned by the Miners. Matheson bats. Swings at the first pitch, hits it hard, right side of the infield, sliding stop steal, fires to second for 1, on to first, not in time. What a play by Jacob Steele to keep that ball in the infield and pick up an out. That was a brilliant play, one of the best of the year by Jacob for out number 1. Never thought that Steele was going to be able to throw anybody out, much less get to the baseball. But somehow he did. Fielder's choice scored 4-6. Matheson replaces Lawrence on first. 1 out on the board now. Ty Beck, the batter. Big lefty. Takes one at the knees for strike 1. Steele covered a ton of ground there. Made a sliding stop on the turf. Got to his feet quickly. Made a good throw to Pano. Give Matheson credit. He was hustling all the way. Beat the wrap. And avoided the double play. Beck hits this one softly, shallow left. That's trouble, and it's going to be played on a hop by Hellman. Blue pit for Ty Beck will put 2 aboard. softest hit of the game. Produced by Beck.
Batting for your Chinooks, number 7.
He's on base for the second time. Alec Beeman hit a triple his first time up, out in the left center field gap. First pitch. Swinging a shot into right field. That's going to drop down for a hit. Lawrence is going to round third. They're going to throw up a big stop sign for him. Chugiak hitting well in this game. They've loaded the bases.
Now at the plate for the Chinooks, number 5, Patty McCormick.
Patty McCormick will bat. Time called over at the first base dugout. Pitching coach James Dillard is out. He will meet on the hill with Lancia and McCafferty. Try to talk to his starter here. We are in a 2-2 game in the bottom of the fourth. Miners have scored on a sacrifice fly by Steven Lancia and a single by Alex Vergara. Chinooks have scored on a triple by Alec Beeman and a ground out by Patty McCormick, who's about to bat right now with the bases loaded as Paul Craddock breaks up the meeting. James Dillard, hands in his rain jacket pocket, will cross from fair to foul territory and slowly walk back to the first base dugout. Kyle Watson handing out defensive signs, and his signs are for the corners to be in. That's Sorelli and Sinceri, who come in at the cut of the turf, middle infield at double play depth. Pitch to McCormick, grounded into double play depth. Steele flips on to second for one, on to first, a double play. Whatever Dillard said, it worked. Whatever Watson said, it worked. We're off to the fifth after that double play. Still 2-2. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts.
Trustworthy hardware and lumber.
Top of the fifth, huge double play turned by the Miners to get out of a bases-loaded mess. Jacob Steele leads off here, shows bunt, gets it down. Philos pounces off the mound, fields his position well, and throws out Steele for out number one. That was a nice play by Zach Philos. Sniffed that bunt attempt out all the way and threw out Steele for out number one. Chugiak loaded the bases in the bottom of the fourth with one out. A meeting from James Dillard, defensive signs by Kyle Watson, and on the first pitch of the at-bat to Patty McCormick, he quickly grounded into an inning-ending 4-6-3. 35th double play of the year turned by the Miners. Top of the order in Casey Sunseri, who takes outside for ball one. Truly remarkable for Matsu, playing in their 33rd game. They've turned 35 double plays as Sunseri calls time. Philos fans the glove in front of his face. Wind-up pitch. Called strike. Young did a good job to bring that one back. We've seen Austin Young in a number of games this year for the Chinooks. He's a good catcher. Seen a lot of wild pitches. Sinceri calls time again. Philos never leaves the rubber. Starts his left foot into the windup motion, pitches. Grounded back to Philos. Look what he found. Good throw to first. 2 outs. Couple of balls that Philos has been able to field successfully here in the 5th.
Coming to the plate for the Miners, number 12, Josh Pano.
But Young has dealt with wild pitchers at times, position players pitching at times, and for the most part, he's done well keeping the ball in front. Pano bats. Young receives that one high for ball 1. 1-0, taken low. Young should know a lot about Philos, teammates with him at the Masters University in Fresno, California. Hit .295 this past season. Youngster is Young, just a freshman. As Pano has worked a 3-0 count. Miners had a 2-out rally in the 3rd inning in a very similar situation. 2 outs, nobody on for Pano, who produced a base hit. Start of a string of 3 of them that brought him home. 3-0. Called strike. Game has quickly moved into the 5th. Game time just over an hour now. Top of the 5th inning. 3-1. Fouled out of play. Teams need to keep playing quickly. Expecting rain at some point tonight. Not exactly sure when. Last time we were in Chugiak, it held off until about an hour after the game. It's been raining nearly every day here in the Valley for the last week. 3-2 pitch to Josh Pano. High ball 4. He coaxes a walk and reaches base for the 3rd time in this game. Maybe another 2-out rally chance for the Miners. Avila had a hit in the middle of the last one. Chased Pano to 3rd base. 1 for 2 in this game. Popped out in foul territory to 3rd baseman Jack Lawrence's first time up. Bats with Pano on. Threat to steal. Modest lead. Not going. Pitch is grounded hard through the right side. That's going to get through for a hit. Pano's going to make the turn and head for 3rd. He's going to slide in safely. Avila was far off the first base bag. He will head back trying to snag an extra base if that throw got away. Once again, the Miners threaten with 2 outs in the heart of their order. Nearly like we're watching a repeat. These 3 men in the 3rd inning produced the run.
Batting for the Miners, number 17, Alex Vergara.
Alex Vergara, the man who brought home Pano. Try to bring him home again. Philos into the stretch. At the belt. Pitch. Good cut, out of play for Vergara, who's now hit safely in 17 of his last 19 games. Over that 19-game stretch, Vergara scored 14 times. He's knocked in 20 runs. And a batting average up near 290 now, all the way from 149, where he started before that stretch. Defense plays him straight up. Oh-1. Strike called, off-speed pitch from Philos that time. Vergara wasn't ready for it. After this game, the Miners will start a stretch of 6 games in a row at home. This is their second to last road game of the regular season. 0-2. Outside. Pretty good pitch by Philos that time. Clearly not a strike, but One that was close enough for Vergara to chase at. He laid off. Vergara calls time. Taps the bat off the ends of both of his shoes. Taps on the plate 2 times. Pinwheels the bat over his right shoulder. And awaits the 1-2. That one stays high. Vergara working Zach Filos over here in the 5th. Filos has scattered around 5 singles and a double. He's allowed 2 runs. Miners are home on the 21st. That's their next game against the Glacier Pilots. Deuces wild for Vergara, the pitch. Swing and a shot into deep center field. Ben Weaver back, still going, at the wall. It's out of here. Alex Vergara with a line drive home run to the deepest part of the ballpark. And the Miners jump in front of Chugiak 5-2. Vergara smoked that ball to center field. Only question was it high enough? The answer was yes. Weaver had no chance as it was out toward the playground. And a lucky kid who's going to grab it over there. Miners feeling good now, up by 3. Alex Hellman takes inside for ball 1. How about Alex Vergara? Are you kidding me? 4th home run of the year. RBIs 28 through 30. Hellman takes outside for ball 2. Chat going crazy, as they should. 2-0. Outside, 3-0. Just remarkable what Vergara has been able to do over this 19-game stretch. That's a called strike. 25 for 67. You add in today's numbers, make it 27 for his last 70. From one Alex to another, Alex Hellman works a walk, and the 2-out rally continues. How about the Miners with 2 outs? All of this again coming
the Miners, number 37,
with 2 men out, as they've scored 4 of their 5 runs. Inning continues for Nick Sorelli with Hellman on first. First pitch, runner goes, pitches down and in, throw down from Young is on the money and on time to catch Alex Hellman trying to steal. But they couldn't catch Alex Vergara as he got to trot around the bases. A 3-run bomb to the deepest part of the ballpark puts the Miners in front 5-2. Don't go anywhere. We're halfway home. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Alex Vergara goes into launch mode, gives the Miners a 3-run lead. 5-2 score. Bottom of the 5th inning. Rhett McCafferty back in front. A lead to work with. As the inning starts with Alexander Saunier. First pitch, called strike. Last inning, the Chinooks threatened. Put 3 men aboard with 1 out. Inning-ending double play off the bat of Patty McCormick. As that's lashed out of play for strike 2.
Sponsored by Chepo's Mexican Restaurant for fine cuisine.
Vergara's ball probably went about 410 feet. 0-2. Swing and a shot down the right field line. That's a foul ball. Ryan Gill raises up both his hands and points off to his right. That just missed by an inch or 2. Sign reads 400. Out in the batter's eye in center field. Couple of slides down there. If this was Milwaukee, they would have sent one of the kids down the slide for the home run. But it's just Chugiak. Maybe one of the kids went down anyway. 0-2. Grounded softly out to third. Sanseri backs up, gets the hoppy once. Strong throw. Not in time. Saunier beats it out. Sanseri backing up on that ball cost him. And it's an infield hit for Chugiak to start the 5th.
Coming to the plate for your Chinooks, number 8, Danny Weaver.
That's a tough play there for Casey Sanseri, who got caught in between. Saunier credited with an infield hit. Speed kills. Weaver the batter. First pitch. Down and away. Sanseri playing in on the grass, trying to make sure Ben Weaver doesn't bunt. He had a swinging bunt his last time up that Lancia fielded right in front of the plate. Barely a fair ball. Threw him out. It's also grounded out back to McCafferty. 1-0. Downstairs 2-0. Short lead for Saunier at first, held on by Sorelli. 2-0. Swing and a shot into center field. That's going to be played on a hop by Carter Young. He's going to fire fast to second base, but just late of Saunier, who had to hold up. Jacob Steele was covering. Back-to-back hits, one on the infield, one into the outfield for Chugiak. Quickly brings the tying run to the plate here in the 5th. For a team that's 5-25, Chugiak showing some real fight in this game. They're trailing the Miners for the 2nd time. Last time they trailed, they quickly jumped in front. Justin Grech will bat. 2 on, nobody out. 5-2 Miners. Pitch from Rhett. Shows bunt and spears it down the left field line, foul. That ball got in on Grech quickly. Caught it awkwardly. And backspun it down the third base side. A 1-1 the count on Grech, who throws a maple bat in front of the plate, shows bunt. And McCafferty steps off and fakes a pickoff to try to get Grech to show his hand. It worked, as Justin was showing bunt all the way through. Trying to advance the runners here in the 5th. Saunier on second, Weaver on first. No sign of bunt just yet. Here it comes. And that's a curveball that McCafferty snaps off high. Even count. Sorelli charging in, was about 45 feet down the first base line. He might try to gun down Saunier at third base if the bunt is too hard back to him. Sanseri pinched in on the turf as well. That's a fastball that misses high, 2-1. Cafferty twirls the ball around his left thigh. Stares in at Grech. Sets at the belt. checks Saunier and delivers. This one's bunted down the first base line. That's a foul ball. If Grech does that again, he'll be out via strikeout. As it's a 2-2 count now. Inning started with back-to-back singles. First by Saunier, that was on the infield. Second by Weaver, a sharp single up the middle. Chinooks have evened up the hit column now, 7 apiece. Trail by 3 runs, though. The 2-2. Swing and a shot down the left field line. That's going to drop in for a hit. Being waved around third is Alexander Saunier. Hellman's throw is going to be cut off by Sunseri. RBI single for Justin Grech. 5-3 Miners.
Batting for your Chinooks, number 22, Austin Young.
Give Chugiak credit. They get behind again, quickly respond. This time with 3 straight hits. Catcher Steven Lancia out to have a chat with McCafferty, who's staring down at his webbing and pulling at it, trying to get a feel for the baseball. Hasn't looked bad in this game. He's into the 5th inning. He's just leaving the ball up at times, and Chugiak is able to square a few up so far. Just got their 8th hit of the game. Mostly singles, though, just 1 triple, which has limited the damage. Huge double play as well in this game. McCafferty will look for another. Try to induce it off the bat of Austin Young, who shows bunt, pushes it towards Sorelli. Sorelli's going to have 1 play covering the first base bag is second baseman Jacob Steele. Good job by the Miners defense and a good bunt by Austin Young, who has a successful sacrifice, moving 2 men into scoring position. That scored SH 3-4 for Austin Young, who won't be charged in AB, thanks to the successful sacrifice. Ben Weaver down to 3rd, Justin Grech down to 2nd, and a chance for Jack Lawrence to tie the game with a single. Young got that down quickly. Perfectly placed with runners on 1st and 2nd. First pitch to Lawrence. That one stays high. McCafferty just having trouble finishing here. His release point is a bit off. Trouble coming all the way through. Back into the windup with runners on 2nd and 3rd. Sorelli pinched in. 1-0. Fly ball out to right. Plenty deep enough to get in a run. It's going to stay in the park for Vergara, who makes the catch. Both runners will tag. Scoring from 3rd is Ben Weaver. Sacrifice fly for Jack Lawrence. 5-4, Matsu.
Now batting for your Chinooks, number 15, Ryan Matheson.
No errors so far in this game for either team. Back-to-back sacrifices brings home Weaver. Ryan Matheson will bat with a runner on 3rd and 2 outs, 5-4. Fastball top of the zone, called a ball. Credit Jack Lawrence with his 14th RBI of the year. Ben Weaver comes home for the 24th time. It's been all over the bases for Chugiak this season. 1-0 to Matheson. Fastball high again. Lancia out of the crouch to catch it. Defense plays Matheson straight up. 2-0 skips up there and a good block by Lancia, who went to both knees. Justin Grech just 90 feet away for anything that gets by. .3-0. Matheson takes a low strike. Ryan Matheson, Cabrillo College, where he hit .295 this past year. 6'1", right-hander, awaits the 3-1. Tips that into the mid of Lancia. Was looking fastball. Got a change up in the zone. Was way early. Barely got a piece of it into the mid. Count full. Time call. Paul Craddock stalks down the third base line to make sure everyone was clear. That pitch wasn't going to count. McCafferty delivered it anyway. Now we'll have to do it again when it counts. The 3-2. Ground ball out to short. Pano charges, gloves, fires across. Another perfect play by the Miners shortstop. Chugiak is back in this game. They score a couple of times in the bottom of the 5th. They now trail by 1, 5-4 your score. Don't go anywhere. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Top of the 6th, Miners 5, Chinooks 4. Chugiak scores a couple of times in the bottom of the 5th to keep this game close. Nick Sorelli leads off here in the 6th. First pitch takes low for ball 1. Sorelli was standing in the batter's box when Alex Hellman was caught stealing to in the 5th. Fouls this one at the plate. And Austin Young is down in a heap. Is that called a piece of him? Paul Craddock will give him some time. Trainer out to check on Young. If you are just joining us, Howie Boxley calling this game all on my own tonight. Had to send Trey all the way down to Atlanta so that he could get a taste of the big city and try to shake him into a Braves fan. Probably will be unsuccessful. No, Trey on a business trip in Atlanta. He will be back on Thursday. So far, he's missing a great game here in Chugiak. Back and forth. Miners currently lead 5-4. They've scored 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 3 in the 5th on a line drive home run by Alex Vergara. Austin Young is up finally, and hopefully okay to continue in this game. Chinooks have scored a pair of runs in both the 2nd and now the 5th innings. 4 runs on 8 hits, no errors for the home team, 5-7-0. The numbers for the Miners. We're in the top of the 6th. Austin Young appears to be all right. His battery mate, Zach Philos, back up off the hill right now. Climbs up on it once more. The count is 1-1. Zach toes the left side of the rubber with his right foot, left foot off the rubber. Sends it into the windup motion, the pitch. Taken down and away, 2-1. You can hear head coach Tyler LeBrun all the way from here in our Nat Mike saying, good spit. Nick Sorelli was able to take that pitch. Paul Craddock Does a spit of his own. Throws the mask back on. 2-1. Popped him up. Right side. Fair territory. Second baseman, Patty McCormick. Has it with both hands for out number 1. Nick Sorelli pops out to start the 6th. Steven Lancia, the next man, due up for the Miners. Miners catcher, 0 for 1 in this game. Has an RBI. Sacrifice fly out to center field. Scored the first run for the Miners in the second. He's also grounded out to McCormick. Pitch. Down and away. Philos once again pitching deep into a game. This is what he does. He's been touched for 5 runs, but he's kept the pitch count low. And he's able to keep going. No action in the pen for Chugiak. And a letter-high strike to Lancia. Talk to Elmore, who's in here charting pitches. Doing great work for Rhett McCafferty. What makes Philos have such good numbers? As Lancia lines this one into center field. Weaver coming on. He is going to make the play. For out number 2, Lancia out on the line. He said, you know, he just throws strikes. Sometimes it's that easy. Has a lot of movement on his pitches, but when you're hitting corners and not leaving pitches over the heart of the plate, usually good things happen no matter what your miles per hour are or how tall you stand on the hill. Philos just at 5'10". As Carter Young checks his swing. Connor Lindsay down the third base line says he didn't go. He works quickly, does Philos. 1-0. Pop straight up. Left side of the infield this time. Jack Lawrence in. And he's got it for out number 3. A 1-2-3 frame produced by Zach Philos to the bottom of the 6th. Close game. Miners 5, Chinooks 4. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube. Presented by Napa Auto Parts. Bottom of the 6th inning, Rhett McCafferty out after 77 pitches. 47 strikes for McCafferty, who will give way to left-hander Mason Brandenberger, who's on the mound for Matsu. McCafferty went 5 innings, allowed 8 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and he's qualified for the win as the Miners lead 5-4. Here in the bottom of the 6th, Mason Brandenberger making his 12th appearance for Matsu. 24 hits, 14 runs, 13 earned for Brandenberger, 4 doubles, 7 walks, 25 strikeouts for Brandenberger, who carries a 4.56 ERA into action. He will square off with Ty Beck. 6-7-8 for Brandenberger, sidearm lefty. Beck taps that one off the plate. Sanseri charges in, fields a high hop, and throws out Beck for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Brandenberger. Mason produces a lot of ground balls, and he's a nice weapon for the Miners to have, especially following a guy like Rhett McCafferty, who throws over the top. Temple College for Brandon Berger from Clifton, Texas. He's a sophomore, 20 years old, and delivers outside. He really drops it down for Matsu and brings it sidearm. Crouches down low. Fires across his body inside this time to Alec Beeman for ball 2. Sets on the left side of the rubber. 2-0. There's a strike. Offset stance on the rubber. His right foot centered more towards the first base dugout than his left. As that one's lashed out of play by Beeman.
Sponsored by Three Bears, Alaska.
He crouches down, tries to put his whole body into it with his 5'11" frame. Fastball, slider, changeup for Brandon Berger. The 2-2. Downstairs, 3 balls and 2 strikes. I'm sure this slider plays a bit differently than a guy like Rhett McCafferty with the different arm slot. 3-2. There's the slider. Strike 3. Pretty pitch to Alec Beeman. 2 down. Patty McCormick, the batter now. An RBI ground out and a double play ground out for McCormick. 2 of the biggest at-bats in the game thus far for Patty. First pitch. Low ball 1. Brandon Berger pitched in 1 inning in the rain-shortened game with the Peninsula Oilers. 1-0. Swing and a miss. That was filthy. Game was called in the bottom of the 6th inning. He came on after Chandler David struck out 10 men and pitched 5 scoreless. He himself pitched 1 scoreless inning, hit a batter, got a double play, faced the minimum, delivers outside to McCormick, 2-1. Pitch. Lifted out of play. Hey, there's Steve Lindsay. Was talking about him earlier. Knew he wouldn't miss the Miners for anything as he's watching the game from San Francisco, where it's 9:38 local time. Friends on the East Coast, way past midnight already. 2-2. Outside, 3-2. Connor Lindsay hasn't been too busy in this game. Just 1 check swing for Connor so far. Of course, that's a product of not too many left-handed hitters. In fact, only 1 check swing in this game regardless. 3-2. Swing and a shot right to Casey, who's got it for out number 3. Mason Brandon Berger with a productive 6th inning. He preserves the Miners lead. We go to the 7th. Miners 5, Chinooks 4. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts.
Don't forget we have a great big hail sale going on at the Beachwood Tape tonight. Chinook t-shirts for only $10. Chinook sweatshirts for only $15. See them while they last.
Alaskans like to work hard, but they also work hard for their ride. That's why RC Detail's the place to go. They're the only G-Technic certified ceramic installer in all of South Central Alaska. So take your vehicle down to RC Detail because your vehicle deserves the best. RC Detail, it's all about the details. The details right now, Miners 5, Chinooks 4, top of the 7th inning, and the 9-hole hitter Jacob Steele back to work against Zach Philos, who pitches into the 7th inning. This one is rolled foul past third, almost inside the bag. Steele never left the batter's box, so that would have been bad news if that was a fair ball. But it rolled just left of the bag. Oh, 1. That one misses outside, 1-1. Pitch to Steele. Grounded. This one's going to be a fair ball. Fielded by Lawrence, who backs up. Long throw. Steele running fast down the line, but he's retired by a couple of steps for out number 1. Miners trying to hold on against Chugiak and root on the Peninsula Oilers, who have already defeated the Pilots 1 time today, as they scheduled this as a doubleheader. Top of the order for the Miners, Casey Sunseri. Swings at the first pitch and skies it to right. Justin Grech is underneath it and catches it for out number 2. The Oilers and Glacier Pilots decided to make these games today a doubleheader, not because of any rainouts between the two teams themselves, but because of the number of rainouts this weekend that affected all the teams in the Alaska Baseball League, so free up an extra off day in case the Glacier Pilots need it. So far, the Pilots have lost 2-0, drawing the Miners to within half a game of first place. Right now, it's a 3-3 game in the bottom of the 7th. In Game 2, as Josh Pano bats with 2 outs once again. It's incredible. For the Miners, the heart of their order has done the majority of the work. Philos getting everyone else out. 0-1. Taken downstairs. But when he gets to this part of the order, he's in trouble. Josh Pano's batted with 2 outs 2 times now. He reached base both times. Following him, Avila and Vergara also reached base both times in both of those innings. And the Miners produced runs. 1-1 is grounded out to third, fielded by Lawrence to his left. Long throw across, not a good one, and it skips away past Beck. Pano's going to be on his way to second. A 2-base error by Jack Lawrence. And again, the Miners with a 2-out rally as Pano can't do anything wrong at the plate with 2 down. Reaches base for the 4th time in this game. A couple of hits, a walk, and now an E5 on Lawrence. First error of the game on either team. And it puts Pano on second base for Blake Avila, who's delivered with 2 outs as well. A pair of singles hit to the right side. Lurking is the hero of the game thus far. Alex Vergara, 4 RBIs and a missile home run. Philos trying to work through the 7th. Pitch to Avila. Down and in. That's a good backhand stop by Young, who had to work his way around Blake and somehow be able to see the baseball to pick it with a backhand. Did so successfully. So far, so good weather-wise. Temperature in the low 60s. Hasn't rained a drop just yet. Knocking on wood. 1-0. Swing and a shot down the right field line. That's going to get down for a hit. Pano's going to score with ease. Blake Avila comes through in the clutch. Another 2-out run for the Miners, who have extended their lead to 2. That's a huge hit for Avila. His 3rd of the game. Credit him with an RBI single. 21st RBI of the year for Avila. He chases home Pano, who scored for the 3rd time, and here comes Vergara. Line drive home run over the center field wall his last time up. Philos brings it. Outside 1-0. Vergara now 27 for his last 70 at the plate. Hit safely in 17 of those 19 games. A .386 average for Vergara, who now has 23 RBIs and 15 runs over that span. 1-0. Swinging a high fly ball sent to left field this time. Saunier back at the track, at the wall. Vergara with his second home run of the game. And the Miners lead 8-4. This time it's a majestic blast for Alex Vergara, who has one to center and one to left. Huge smile on the face for Alex. Avila with one as well. Vergara is hot. And the Miners have doubled up Chugiak. Alex Hellman will bat. That one's taken high for ball one. 7 two-out runs for the Miners in this game. It's like we're watching the same inning on repeat every time this happens as Hellman takes a strike. Even count now. Josh Pano has come up in this game with 2 outs 3 times. He's reached base all 3 times. He's scored all 3 times. 1-1. Fouled straight back off the chain link above. Alex Vergara has come up with runners on in 2 outs 3 times. He's produced RBI hits 3 times. A single and 2 home runs. 6 RBIs for Vergara, most of the year in one game for any Miner. 2-2 now on Alex Hellman. The pitch. Fouled away. It's a great point by Broken Arrow. Alex Vergara earning his chowder that will be waiting at Rosanna Dixon's house after the game. Picks him a couple of bowls. He needs them. My goodness. Second multi-homer game of the year for Alex. Pitch taken outside by Hellman, 3-2. Grounded foul. It's an upgrade now for Vergara. Why not? Rosanna Dixon says homemade chocolate chip cookies and homemade fresh raspberry white chocolate cookies. The oven and Alex are hot. No kidding. The 3-2 pitch. Swinging a ground ball. That one's past a diving Jack Lawrence into left field. Hellman keeps the 2-out rally going. Unbelievable. The Miners have now produced 9 hits in this contest. The last 7 have come with 2 outs. That'll play. Nick Sorelli looking to get on base for the first time in this game. Pitch. Drops in high. Debbie LeBrun watching from San Diego, California. Head coach Charles LeBrun's fiance in town. Good to meet her. 0-1. Inside 1-1. James Dillard family here as well. Tag and Easton, the 2 boys running around. Wife hanging out as well. Tons of fun for the families in Alaska, especially when the Miners are playing like this. Looking for their 4th win in a row. Chugiak, losers of 7 straight coming in. The 1-1. Swing and a shot down the left field line. That's going to scatter the Miners bullpen, which is active right now. Nobody throwing. Nate Rolka down there stretching. Brandon Heidel ready to do some catching for anyone who gets loose. Probably going to see Mason Brandenberger for a 2nd inning in a row. A 1-2-3-6 work by Mason. And a 1-2 pitch to Nick Sorelli. That one drops in, just missed. Pretty curveball from Philos. Outside the zone, 2-2. Check swing. Sorelli went around, says Craddock. And now it's a full count. Says Craddock. Cicerelli's still alive. 3-2. Hellman with a big lead off first. He will go on the pitch. He's off and running. And the pitch is laced into right field. That's going to hang up for Justin Greck, who makes the catch for out number 3. But Alex Vergara does it again. Another 2-out bomb, this time the 2-run variety. The Miners are on the board 3 more times. It's time to stretch it out for the final time from Chugiak. Miners 8, Chinooks 4. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Bottom of the 7th and a ton of fun from Lee Jordan Field. Alex Vergara providing the fireworks on a cool and rainy night. He's went deep 2 times. He's picked up 6 RBIs, and he has led the Miners to an 8-4 lead. Mason Brandenburger back out for his 2nd inning, trying to protect it. Delivers the first pitch to Alexander Saunier. That's low for ball 1. Brandenburger came on in the 6th. Worked a 1-2-3 frame. Ground out, strikeout, line out. 1-0. Inside 2-0. 7 2-out runs for the Miners in this game. 8 2-out hits. 2-0. That one misses. 3-0. To Saunier. Nowhere near. A 4-pitch walk. The last thing Mason Brandenburger and the first base dugout want in a 4-run game. Chugiak has done a good job of responding to the Miners' runs. So far in this game, the Miners have scored in 4 frames. The Chinooks have scored in 2 of the first 3 they've had a chance in. Top of the order, Ben Weaver, who takes a called strike. Oh, 1. Down and away, 1-1. Ben Weaver, 1 for 3 in this game. A single. His last time up, he scored a run. 1-1. That's a pretty pitch. Strike 2. One, 2. Runner goes. Pitch is fouled away. Weaver had to protect himself with a 1-2 count. The ever difficult question comes through the chat once more. Who is your Matsu Miner MVP of the season so far? Well, this time, I'm off the hook because RJ Elmore's next to me with a gun, and I can make him pick his MVP. You can't pick yourself, RJ. Come on. As Brandenburger picks off. He says, give me a second here. It's a tough question. It really is. Blake Avila has been so good as that swung on and missed by Ben Weaver. A strikeout for Mason Brandenburger and 1 down. It's hard to ignore what Alex Vergara is doing. He's now up to 5 home runs for the Miners with his second multi-home run game. On the mound as well, the Miners team ERA sits right around 3. Michael Yates, Chandler David, now RJ Elmore have put in great work, and it really is a difficult question as Justin Greck bats with 1 on and 1 out. Sprays the first pitch out of play.
And that ball sponsored by Cozy Interiors, Alaska's interior store.
RJ Elmore deep in his pitching chart, trying to not get shunned by Tyler LeBrun after the game. Got to get everything in. All the numbers have to be correct. Another pickoff. Saunier back standing up. RJ Elmore says Blake Avila. Can't go wrong. 3 hits for Avila in this game. 0-1. Downstairs 1-1. Avila now 26 for his first 87, which is good for a 300 batting average. Right on the money. 1-1. Out of play. Over the Miners dugout. He's scored 20 times. He's knocked in 21 runs. Those numbers would likely be significantly higher had Blake not missed around a week of games due to cellulitis in his leg. An infection down there that kept him out of a number of games. Keep in mind he also came in a bit late. Another pickoff, Saunier back standing up. And even with all of that missed time, Avila's still near the top of the team in counting stats. But Alex Vergara has truly taken off. 1-2, down and away. Coming in, he had 26 RBIs. Try 32 on for size, as he's got 6 of the 8 RBIs in this game. Incredible. 2-2 pitch to Greck. Just missed 3-2. Full count pitch. Swing and a miss. Off speed gets Greck. 3rd strikeout for Mason Brandenburger. 2 down here in the 7th.
All hamburgers and hot dogs are half off. All hamburgers and hot dogs are half off at the Chinook set. Coming to the plate for the Chinooks, number 22.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Mason Brandenburger following the leadoff walk. 3-hole hitter Austin Young up to the plate. 1 for 2 with a sacrifice. Another pickoff of Saunier, who's tried to steal a base 1 time in this game, but was sent back on a foul ball. Pitch, runner goes, pitch swung on a miss. Lancia slow down, bounces up there, and no tag applied by Steele. There's a stolen base for Alexander Saunier. Lancia now 8 for 22, gunning down would-be base stealers. Saunier into scoring position as Chugiak tries to hang around. Zach Philo started, their ace, who's beaten the Miners 2 times, but he got knocked around. 8 runs, 10 hits. Still made it through 7 innings as Brandenburger delivers a called strike over the outside corner. But the Miners finally figured out Zach Philos, and that would be a very nice way to close out the road series in Chugiak. 0-2. Lifted out of play. Young does a good job to stay alive there on an off-speed pitch.
By Arctic Oral Surgery.
Oilers have taken the lead over the Pilots. It's now a 4-3 game. If the Oilers win and the Miners win, they're back in first place by a half game. 0-2. Drops downstairs. The Pilots coming in were 17-3 in their last 20 games, and the Miners did need help. They needed them to lose at least 1 game, even with 3 games outstanding against the Pilots, to get first place. They've gotten the 1 loss. 1-2. Swinging a shot out to Pano. 1 hop. He's got it, and his throw is in time to nab Young. Leadoff walk stranded on second base. Mason Brandenburger has worked 2 scoreless innings. We're off to the 8th. Miners 8, Chinooks 2. You're watching Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Miners need 6 outs to win this game. They lead 8-4. Still have 2 turns to bat, though. Zach Philos out of the game. He went deep into the game as expected, but got touched for a lot more runs than many might have anticipated, including myself. 7 innings for Zach Philos. He gives up 10 hits, 8 runs, 5 of them earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and the 2 big blows, long balls off the bat of Alex Vergara. Harrison Clifton in to replace him will face Steven Lancia in the bottom of the minors order to start the 8th inning. Harrison Clifton, 6'3", 205, a lefty. Originally from Henrico, Virginia. Lancia shows bunt. That's surprising. Pops it up foul. University of Richmond for Clifton, where he sported a 3.0 ERA over 7 appearances. Gave up 4 hits. Just 3 innings, though, for Clifton, who spent time in the Valley League with the Newmarket Rebels last year for summer baseball. 0-1 to Steven. Swing and a miss. Good change-up that time by Clifton over the outside corner. Strike 2. Clifton holds the ball in his left hand, now sets at the Chinooks across his chest and brings an 0-2, or tried to, and slipped off the mound. That didn't look good, as Clifton was down in a heap. Hopefully Clifton's all right. That was super awkward on the mound. Of course, if there would have been a runner on base, it would have been an automatic balk. You can't come to the plate and not deliver, but Clifton lost his footing right there. And got himself into trouble. He's ready to go again now. He looks all right. Brings an 0-2. That one's off the glove of Austin Young. And back to the screen, a 1-2 count. Clifton so far this year, making his 8th appearance. This is his first time coming in as a reliever. Swing and a miss by Lancia. Pitch in the turf. Young will throw it down to first. Lancia recorded a strikeout. He's out 2-3 for out number 1. Clifton sporting an 8.76 ERA through those 7 starts. 28 hits, 24 earned runs, 24 walks, 15 strikeouts, make it 16 now over 25 innings. And isn't that great? A bug lands right on the camera lens. Wouldn't you know? Carter Young bangs this one up the middle. That's going to be fielded by the shortstop, Alec Beeman, who has no play. That was an awkward play for Beeman, who came all the way across the second base bag, kind of cut off Patty McCormick. Would have been a tough play for either one. It's an infield hit for Carter Young, 10th of the game for the Miners. Excuse me, 11th of the game for the Miners. And now a runner aboard with 1 out. There we go. Bug is gone. Jacob Steele, the batter, he's 0 for 3. What happens when RJ's gone for just a few minutes? Everything starts falling apart. Pitch to Jacob. Downstairs, it's gotten suddenly very dark at Lee Jordan Field. No lights here, just like Herman Brothers, so the potential to be called due to darkness. Pickoff attempt here. Scrambling back to the first base bag was Carter Young, who basically swam his way the last few steps as his dive was awkward. And he had to crawl his way back to the bag. One-0 pitch to Steele, and instead another pickoff. This one pretty close as well. Ty Beck slaps on the tag late. Ryan Gill spreads his wing, signaling safe down the first base line. Steve, you're right. That is something you don't see on ESPN. They could cut away or something. 1-0. Down and away. A literal bug. A glitch in the system. And somebody thought the view was pretty good. Flown away now. Off to greener pastures. Steele ahead 2-0. Runner on first, 1 out. 8-4 Miners. Pitch. Downstairs 3-0. Harrison Clifton in his time in the Valley League, a 9.43 ERA over 9 games last summer, 15 walks, 18 strikeouts. Time called by Steele. Steele coming into this game was 4 for his last 6. At the plate, was starting to heat up, been cooled off a bit by Zach Philos, but first look at Harrison Clifton now for Jacob. 3-0, runner goes, pitch taken, throw down to second. Is not in time, and the pitch was called a strike, so that is a stolen base for Carter Young. Make it 6 swipes for Carter. That now leads the team. Three-one pitch. Swing and a little pop down the right field line. That's going to drop in for a hit. Carter Young had to hold up to make sure the ball wasn't caught. Big stop sign thrown up by Kyle Watson and a good throw in from Justin Greck. Runners on the corners for the Miners with 1 out. Miners have just had so much success here at Lee Jordan Field this year. Coming into this game, they had outscored Chugiak 46-12 over 4 games. Totals now sit at 54-16 in an 8-4 game. Casey Sunseri will look to add on. Finally, some 1-out hits for the Miners. Pitch to Casey. Way high. Ball pops away from Young. Not far enough for Carter to scramble home. Carter Young. Austin Young, the catcher. The first 2 hits of the games for the Miners came with 1 out and nobody out. Their next 8 came with 2 outs, and they scored 7 runs. 1-0. Stays low, 2-0. Clifton having trouble commanding here. Looks like Nate Rolka is warming up down the right field line. Been a long time since the Miners have deployed Rolka and Towson. They might do it here in this game, even if the score isn't close, with a couple of off days coming up. 2-0, runner goes from first. Pitch skips away from Young. It'll be a stolen base for Jacob Steele. He has 3 of them. And now 2 in scoring position for Casey Sunseri and a 3-0 count. Clifton sets, kicks his right leg and fires. Sunseri made him throw a strike, and he did. 3-1. Miners in the home stretch, game number 33. There will be 7 remaining after this one. 6 at home, 1 on the road. 3-1 to Casey. Lifted out of play down the right field line. Full count. Two stolen bases in this inning for the Miners. Trying to add on to an 8-4 lead. 3-2. Fought off again. Sunseri staying alive. MLB draft started up yesterday. So fun to watch players you know, players you've been teammates with, get drafted for all of the players on the Miners team and the Chinooks team for that matter. 3-2 is lined into shallow center field, coming on as Weaver. He's going to make a sliding catch and a good one. Carter Young's going to tag and score. Casey Sunseri gets it done. A sacrifice fly on a sliding catch by Ben Weaver makes it 9-4 Miners. So far this year in the MLB draft, the Mat-Su Miners have had 6 players taken. 6 former Miners have been drafted. One can't help but ponder who might be the Miners that are playing this year that may one day be drafted. Josh Pano bats with a runner on second and 2 outs. Watches that one drop in for strike 1. Josh Hatcher played for the Miners in 2018. Was selected in the 10th round by the Texas Rangers. Ian Churchill picked up as well in the draft. He's a former Miner. Cody Huff, another 0-1. Swing and a fly ball sent out to shallow left field. Coming on is Alexander Saunier. He makes a chest-high catch for out number 3. The Miners tack on one more sacrifice fly for Casey Sunseri. 6 outs to get for the Miners to sweep the series here in Chugiak as they lead the Chinooks 9-4. You watch Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Bottom of the 8th, Miners 9, Chinooks 4, as Matsu goes for the sweep at Lee Jordan Field. Nate Rolka into the game for the Miners as he takes over for Mason Brandenberger, who worked 2 scoreless innings. Good work by Mason. Rolka has had good work as well. This is the 12th appearance for Nate Rolka, a .63 ERA for Nate, which is one of the best on the team. Just 9 hits allowed, 1 earned run for Rolka over 14 1/3 as he will try to keep Chugiak right where they are here in the bottom of the 8th. Rosanna Dixon asking during the break, where was Ian Churchill drafted? He was also selected in the 10th round by the Blue Jays. Rosanna Dixon saying that Ian Churchill was also an excellent adopted son. See what cookies and chowder does for him. I'm seeing it, Rosanna. Alex Vergara, 6 RBIs, 2 home runs. Something in the chowder at the Dixon's house as Jack Lawrence leads off here in the 8th, fouls it straight back to the chain length and rattles the camera, of course, which is always fun. Nothing in 1, the count on Lawrence. So we'll try to get this camera back real quick. That one's fouled back again, 0-2. Oh, 0-2 the count on Lawrence. The pitch. That one high, 1-2. There we go. Now we're back. One, two. Fouled off of Lancia's mask. That couldn't have felt great. Paul Craddock over to retrieve a couple of new baseballs. RJ Elmore telling me during the break, Cody Huff can rake. Played against him in high school and again in college. 2-2. Check swing. Lawrence able to hold up, says first base umpire Ryan Gill. Cody Huff was a minor in 2019. Batted .275. 7 doubles, 3 homers for Cody Huff, who's been at Stanford for 3 years. 3-2. Check swing. Didn't go again. Jack Lawrence able to coax a leadoff walk here in the 8th. Walks have really been the only true problem for Nate Rolka, as he just issued his 11th, make it 15th walk of the year for Rolka over just over 14 innings pitched. He's also struck out 22 men, though, and he's only given up 1 run. Rosanna just got on the phone with Ian Churchill, who says, hey to all the minors. Congratulations, Ian, and best of luck at the next level. As Rolka pumps over a fastball strike to Matheson. Churchill, originally from Santa Barbara, California, was at San Diego this year in the West Coast Conference. Also been at Arizona. 0-1 pitch to Matheson, cut all miss, nothing in 2. Played for the minors in 2018. Went 7-0 and a 1.55 ERA over 40 2/3. It's pretty good. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Rolka blew away Matheson on 3 pitches for out number 1.
Coming to the plate for your Chinooks, number 23, Ty Beck.
This is turning into a very productive evening for the minors. They've had a number of former players drafted. They are potentially on the verge of retaking first place, as the Oilers still lead the Pilots 4-3. That game's in the bottom of the 8th. They need that one to go final with the Oilers in front, and they need to hang on here. Ty Beck bats with 1 on and 1 out. Swing and a miss. Rolka with a good fastball. Clocking in the upper 80s and low 90s so far. Can touch 93 at times. Oh, 1. Pops the mitt, but outside. 1-1. It's been a while since the Miners have been in first place. Last time I had them in first in my book, July 9. 1-1 pitch to Beck, swing and a miss, 1-2. Until July 9, they were in first, wire to wire, from June the 6th onward. But the Glacier Pilots have been spending some time at the top for the last week and a half. 1-2 pitch to Beck. Strike 3 call. Late call by Craddock, but Beck was already walking back to the dugout, and Craddock figured he might as well call it for out number 2.
Coming to the plate for your Chinooks, number 7, Alec Beeman.
2 down for Alec Beeman. He's had a good game. RBI triple and a single for Beeman. He got struck out by Brandenburger. Both those hits came off Rhett McCafferty, who's in line for the win. He went 5 innings of 4-run baseball. Wolka delivers outside 1-0. Miners have 2 huge games coming up against the Glacier Pilots. First one will be Thursday, 6 o'clock the start time, Herman Brothers Field. Howie Boxley and Trey Yannity will be with you. That one catches a corner. Then Saturday, same thing, 6 o'clock, Miners and Glacier Pilots. Herman Brothers Field, 6 o'clock. That's who Miners Baseball on YouTube. Thank all of you for tuning into this game tonight. Putting up with me. On my own, 1-1. That's a good pitch at the knees, 1-2. Rolka showing why. He's the setup man. He has closer stuff. Fastball plays. Good off speed. When his fastball's on, he kind of just blows it by guys. 1-2 pitch to Beeman. Runner goes. Blew it by. Nate Rolka strikes out the side after the leadoff walk. And the Miners are off to the 9th inning with a 9-4 lead. Don't go anywhere. Mat-Su Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. One more inning to go for the Miners to pick up the victory against Chugiak. They lead 9-4. Kalen Haynes into the game. He's pitched a ton versus the Miners. He takes over for Harrison Clifton, who went 1 inning, gave up 1 run. A sacrifice fly for Casey Sunseri made it 9-4 Miners. Kalen Haynes appearing in his 16th game, by far the most of any Chinook. A 9.26 ERA for Haynes over 23 1/3. 31 hits, 25 runs, 24 of those earned, 22 walks, 21 strikeouts for Kalen Haynes, who is appearing in his 7th game versus the Miners, if you can believe it. 7th game versus Mat-Su. He allowed 3 runs his last time out.
Now batting for the Miners, number 29, Cade Manning.
In total, he's allowed 16 against the Miners alone. Cade Manning is going to start the inning. Pinch hitter for the Miners as Cade Manning takes over for Blake Avila here in the 9th. Avila with an excellent day, 0-1. Is grounded past Haynes, who tried to get it out to Beeman. Long throw, and a good one for Alec for out number 1. Excellent night for Blake Avila. Might be talking about him more if it wasn't for the guy coming up, Alex Vergara, who will try for 3 in a row. He's 3 for his last 3 at the plate in this game. All he's done is collected 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. Bats now against Haynes, who's given up a number of home runs to the Miners this year. First pitch to Vergara. Off-speed pitch and a good one right there. Haynes looks good at times. He's a big 6'7" frame who can pump over fastballs, but he struggles with command and leaves too many pitches over the plate. 0-1, left over the plate, but off-speed again. Vergara fooled. Nothing in 2. Haynes 6'7", 240 officially from Trophy Club, Texas. Attends Cameron University. This is his last go in competitive baseball as he's graduated. 0-2, swing and a miss. That is the Kalen Haynes that Chugiak was looking for all year. He just struck out the hottest Miners hitter on 3 pitches for out number 2. This game is so interesting at times.
For the Miners, number 49, Alex Hellman.
Vergara hit 2 home runs off the Chinooks' best pitcher in Zach Philos, at least numbers-wise. Alex Hellman bats now. Takes down and away. And then against Kalen Haynes, who's struggled mightily against the Miners this year, he strikes out on 3 pitches. Strange how it works. Haynes fans the glove in front of his face, wind up in the 1-0. Austin Young brought that back for strike 1. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Nasty pitch that dove out of the zone. 1-2. Haynes trying to gun down the Miners here in the ninth. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Pitch in the turf. Young will have to peg it down. He does. Kalen Haynes with an impressive 9th inning, but the Miners with an impressive game. They have 3 outs to get. On Chugiak, they lead 9-4. We'll wrap it up in a moment. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Bottom of the ninth, that's right, it's Towson time. Cole Towson into the game. The Miners closer coming in a non-save opportunity, making his team-leading 14th appearance. 10 hits, 7 runs for Towson, 10 walks, 16 strikeouts, and a 3.45 ERA for Cole, who's had a great year for the Miners. Just need 3 outs to win this game and polish off the Chinooks for the final time at Lee Jordan Field. Patty McCormick leads off here in the ninth, 0 for 3, and an RBI for Patty. Towson the pitch. That's a fastball that stays high. Fastball, changeup, curveball for Patty McCormick. And that one is taken low. 2-0. Pitch to Patty. Ground ball, that is just foul. Past third. Cole Towson will be attending Lamar next season. A number of Miners are on to new schools. Casey Sunseri to Baylor. Alex Vergara to Lipscomb. And Patty McCormick with a fly ball to left field. Helmet over, he's got it, and the Miners are 2 outs away. Complete game played by the Miners so far. They scored a run in the 2nd inning to get the scoring started. They actually trailed in this game 2-1 at one point as Chugiak had 2 2nd-inning runs. Not for long, though, as the game was tied on one of many hits to come for Alex Vergara. A 2-out single in the 3rd that made it 2-2. Saunier can't stop himself, 0-1. The Miners took the lead for good in the top of the 5th. Off the bat, you guessed it, Alex Vergara, as Towson paints again for strike 2. A 3-run homer for Vergara, put the Miners in front 5-2. Stands right now at 9-4, and Towson with an 0-2. High fastball. Towson 360 spins off the left side of the mound. And we'll get back up there and Get ready for a 1-2. Shakes Lancia twice. His third pitch is outside 2-2. Two. Saunier stays alive. 9-12-0. So far, the numbers for the Miners. They've left 5 men on base. 2-2 pitch to Saunier. Just missed. Solid effort by Towson. Called the ball. Three-two. Up and away. Towson lost Saunier. It's a 1-out walk here in the bottom of the ninth.
Now coming to the plate for your Chinooks, number 8, Ben Weaver.
Thomas Dixon, be the PA announcer on Thursday. That's huge. Big game. Miners and Pilots. Be at Herman Brothers Field. Will be right here on YouTube. Got no other choice. Ben Weaver bats with 1 on and 1 out in a 5-run game. Takes a strike. Six o'clock. The start time on Thursday for a matchup between the top two teams. 0-1, runner goes, pitches high. Defensive indifference allows Saunier to take second base. Nobody covering. No stolen base for Alexander Saunier. One. Downstairs, 2 balls and a strike now. Weaver waves his white bat through the zone, wings it over his left shoulder, and awaits a 2-1. Pops it up out of play.
And that foul ball brought to you by Bright Star Care for
Weaver 1 for 4 in this game. Pair of ground outs, a single and a run scored, and a strikeout his last time up. Towson threatening to strike him out again. The 2-2. Swing and a shot down the left field line. That's a foul ball. Knuckled out of play. Thomas always doing his best work at Herman Brothers Field. In the booth right next to Trey and I. 2-2 to Weaver. Swing and a miss. Fastball, Weaver way late. And the Miners are an out away. First strikeout of the game for Cole Towson. The Miners have struck out 8 men in this contest. And are 1 more out of any kind from defeating Chugiak for the 7th time this year, 5th time on the road. Justin Greck, the final hope. The pitch. Swing and a miss. That ball was in the mitt of Lancia before Greck offered. 0-1. Greck 1 for 4 in this game with an RBI. The 0-1. Fastball right down the middle for strike 2. 1 more strike. All the Miners lacking. The 0-2 pitch from Cole Towson. Tipped off of Lancia, a foul ball. Greck will dig back into the right-handed batter's box. Towson will stare down Lancia, set. Check on Saunier, kick and bring. Outside. Couple of off days for the Miners, so Tyler LeBrun not messing around. Going to his big guns, Nate Rolka, now Cole Towson. Also saw Brandenburger work a couple of innings. 1-2. That one stays high. Towson picked up the save his last time out, an impromptu save, as the Miners were up 7-3 going into the 9th inning. in a game against the Bucks in Anchorage. Bucks came all the way back to tie that game at 7. Townsend was called upon in the 10th after the Miners scored 4 more. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Curveball and a good one. And the Miners defeat the Chinooks 9-4. Alex Vergara with a heck of a game for the Miners. He's got to be my player of the game. How could he not be? Vergara 3 for 5 in this contest. He knocks in 6 men, 2 home runs for Alex Vergara, who's just been outstanding for the Miners over the past month or so. 1 home run to deep center field. That was a 3-run blast that put the Miners in front, and they stayed in front as they win by a final score of 9-4. Good work all around for the Miners, who got good outing from Rhett McCafferty, who went 5 innings and just gave up 4 runs. Mason Brandenburger, Nate Rolka, and Cole Townsend all followed with good relief appearances. All didn't allow a single run. The Miners improved to 7-2 against the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. They finished the year 5-0 at Lee Jordan Field. Their record now sits at 23-10. They will await the outcome of the game between the Peninsula Oilers and the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. If the Peninsula Oilers win that game for the first time in 9 days, the Miners will be in front, and that game has gone final. So it is, for the first time in 9 games, the Mat-Su Miners atop the Alaska Baseball League. Again, 9 runs for the Miners, 12 hits, no errors, 5 men left. For the home team, 4 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, 7 men left. Rhett McCafferty picks up the win. He improves to 3-2 on the year. Time of game, 2 hours, 33 minutes. It is the first place Mat-Su Miners, who will be back in action on Thursday. Trey Yanity will be back with me at 6 o'clock. Be there on YouTube, at Herman Brothers Field, wherever you want to catch the Miners. For Howie Boxley, thanks for flying solo with me tonight. Signing off from Chugiak. Have a great night, everybody.